Hi friends, hope things are okay with you. So today we are going to discuss a new subject, one of the recent developments relating to sound and music being used for therapeutic purposes. Today we have taken up a 40-year-old subject because before 40 years the science was not so developed and nobody knew what is pink noise. They all knew what is noise, but they didn't know what is pink noise. So today we are going to discuss about pink noise, not about noise, but you may find some noise. Because when I played the music just now, you must have all been a bit of confused. You said, how this sort of thing is going to be for sleep, producing sleep. Pink noise for production of sleep. So you must be wondering. And I think you have every justification because people who are musical minded, they will always have this type of queries in their mind, how a noise can be used for therapeutic use or even for producing sleep. And today precisely we are going to discuss about pink noise, which can be used to cure insomnia. So let's start with this. What is pink noise? Because the name is wonderful, although the sound is not so good. It looks like that because there is some sort of chaos or confusion in the sound. So even if you go back and listen to it again and again, you will keep that confusion forever. You are not going to be clarified about your questions because that is not meant for your mind, but this noise is meant for your brain. That's what the scientists say. There was a study in 2012, Journal of Theoretical Biology. So it talks about the pink noise, which is helpful in reduction of brain waves and thereby increasing the sleep quality of the people. So this is a scientific documentation about pink noise. Similarly, there is another study in 2017. It's very recent actually, hardly 4 years back. And this study in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience, that is the scientific magazine, in which it talks about a very positive link between pink noise and deep sleep. So that means, scientists have come to the understanding that for the people who suffer from insomnia, they can jolly well go for pink noise. Not just music, not just Carnatic music or Hindustani music. They can also go for another option and try on that. That is called pink noise. So now we will see what is this pink noise. And the pink noise is actually, they say it is the commonest biological signal. It is a signal in biological system, one of the common signals in biological system. And not only that, the discoverer of pink noise, one Martin Gardner, actually he was not a musician, he was a mathematician and very well-known mathematician, and he published in 1978 for the first time an article in Scientific American that's called Pink Noise. And he made certain very important observations which are necessary for our musicians to know, particularly because musicians feel that only a proper music and with a lot of grammar following is going to be helpful, classical music and things like that. So those people may have to revise their understanding because here Martin Gardner, a mathematician, has declared that sounds in nature are not at all musical. Because any sound in nature, he feels it is not musical, it is chaotic. For instance, you just listen to the sound of a big river flowing, that sort of sound, you are gurgling water. You were listening to that and you found it not really not musical, and it's somewhat noisy. That's why we didn't play out so much on that. So we didn't want to bother you on that. But at the same time, what superficially appears as bothering, suppose you at the time of sleep listen to this for say about 30 minutes or 40 minutes, I can say you will fall asleep. You have to. Why? Because it is the confusion or chaos in that noise is going to confuse you further without even knowing about it. You may not know that it is going to affect your brain. Your knowledge is very limited. But the brain will automatically get affected, You don't have to see or say that whether brain is getting affected. No, by the time you know whether it is affected or not, the brain is already got affected by this noise, and then the brain waves actually start reducing without your knowing, so you get into sleep. Maybe alpha waves from beta waves, and such sort of reduction takes place. So even it may go to theta and things like that. So this is a very important discovery in 1978. And basically you find the natural sounds which are conducive for this sleep is one is ocean surf. The people who go to the coastal areas or they go in ships and things like that, they can find out that how the surf noise comes, how the waves, sound waves, sea waves, they behave and their noise, and also wind in trees, bursting clouds, in rains, particularly rains in the night with thunders in remote areas, and then you have animal cries and animals like dogs bark, when you want to sleep, and it will differently disturb you, and bird calls, like peacock, making noise. All these are bound to disturb your sleep, but at the same time, if you are going to moderate it as pink noise, that is, you make this sound gentle and smooth and listen to it in low decibels, then they are going to help you particularly in overcoming your sleep problems. The quality of your sleep is assured with the noise of wind, with the noise of rain, with the noise of water goggling, river flow, all these things. So the people who happen to live near nature in these places, they are blessed people. They will be enjoying sleep without even their knowing that they are enjoying better than the urbanites. They may not be knowing, but they may be enjoying. That's what I want to convey, that how music works and how music therapy also works. It's not your knowledge that is going to produce effect. It is your response, your physiological, mental response that makes music therapy what is music therapy. It is not a few scientific papers or something someone here and there tinkered and wrote. No, that is not music therapy. That may give some sort of ideas, some sense of proportion to your understanding, but they are not final. No final word is said about mind. No final word is said about your brain. No final word is said about music or music therapy. So now let me come to this particular point which I thought I must talk about. That is the characteristics of pink noise. Actually, I mentioned to you gentle and soothing, because pink noise is a derivative of what is called again white noise, which is not gentle and soothing. So they do some filtration. The scientists have methods of filtering it and then making it into sort of pink noise. So once the pink noise is filtered like that, it becomes gentle and soothing. And these two qualities are conducive for production of sleep and also for relaxation. So you cannot listen to huge high decibel noise, or let us say very very high pitch sounds in chaotic form that will not make you sleep. But this one is a gentle soothing sound, although they apparently is chaotic because they don't allow your thinking. It dullens your mind, as I said in one of my earlier videos. It dullens actually your mind, and by dullening effect you are getting into relaxation mood and also to sleep. So you are able to get into sleep because of the dullening of your mind. But if you keep your mind very active and you do work with internet, and then just before you want to sleep, you cannot sleep so easily because you used your beta waves of the brain waves so much that immediately it will not descend to alpha levels to make you sleep. So then what you have to do is that you don't use too much of internet before you go to bed, too much of your cell phones before you go to bed, too much of Facebook and too much of WhatsApp, and don't see too much of videos like the one I am sending you today. So you just be yourself and then take some rest. Then you go and then sort of change your working habit, and then you give more importance for your health, well-being. You have to take care of your well-being because there is nobody to take care. Or God may take care. I don't know. You may believe, but it's good you believe. But it is your primary responsibility to take care of yourself. So for that, you must also sort of adopt some sort of words so that you get at least 8 hours sleeps minimum. It is recommended for your brain rest, they call it. Sleep is nothing but brain rest, because you are torturing your brain all through the day with so much of WhatsApp, phone calls and internet, and then bombarding you unnecessary advertisements, and I don't know what are the things we are getting. By the time you go for a subject, you get 100 subjects bombarding you, and then you have to wait for it. Sometimes compulsory sort of commercials that come and then hinder yourself and make you miserable. I wish somebody protests about this, that how our brain is washed very well by commercial interests. This brainwashing has to be somewhat stopped, and then we all have to unite for that as consumers, and we have to fight this advertisement menace, I call it, because it is distorting and disturbing our mind. And it's also misleading many times. People lose a lot of money because of this type of advertisements, where big film actors and all, they are brought in from nowhere, and then they become the brand ambassadors. Oh my God. So what I'm suggesting here is that we have to take care of our sleep and all that. It is not that pink noise should come and take care of. But for those people who are not able to take care of, because the elder people with bad habits and all that, like me, who are not able to sleep, then they have to resort to pink noise. And then how do you get this pink noise? Let me say how you can get pink noise. Because there are so many apps are there, but I wouldn't recommend so much of apps. I would love that you go to the YouTube and then find out what are the noise variations. You get some good suggestions are there, so you may sort of download, or you may listen to those samples of pink noise. There may be samples of water, there may be also samples of wind, and there are so many other types of samples like rains and all that. They are very very conducive. I tried rain. I found it very nice, because the rain part of it, because you just there is an imagery when you are sleeping that outside there is a rain going on, and you are comfortable in your bed and not drenched. So that sort of satisfaction you get. So I would love that, I would always like to listen to the sounds of rain, sounds of water, sounds of flow and things like that. And at the same time, I'm not wet at all. I am in a safe distance in my home. So this also helps you sort of to get rid of sleeping disorders over a time. But only one sort of precaution I must say, that because it should not become a sort of habit forming for people. So I won't like that the people who are young and all that, they use all the time this type of gadgets which produce chaotic noise called pink noise, and they don't have to adhere to all this. But because the lifestyle is so much, but so much change, and people have lots of problems with sleep, that so it is better to get some sleep. A bit of sleep is always needed, and not a bit of sleep. 8 hours one has to sleep if you want to be balanced and if you want to be effective in your life. Your thinking, feeling should be clear. Then sleep for 8 hours, and then use pink noise left, right, and center. Thank you very much.